Hey, what's up guys? It's your good friend Airsoft Man 819 here again with yet another video. And so returns the iconic checkered countertop. It's been a very long time since I've reviewed anything down here. So it's kind of surreal being in this place again, considering I haven't filmed here in, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 years, maybe longer. I haven't filmed a video in this style probably in over 10 years. And I found it fitting to make the video about this individual thing just because I reviewed the original version of this product over 10 years ago on this very countertop. So today's review is going to be on the Hyperkin DutchesS original Xbox controller replica. Now, as much as this looks like an original Xbox controller S, it is in fact not. And that's honestly what's so good about it, is when you first look at it, especially when you don't got this, it looks like a real Xbox controller S. Now, Hyperkin has done other reproductions of older controllers before. That's kind of something they've been known for. They've always done that. They made controllers for the NES, for the Super Nintendo, for the Sega Genesis, all those different things. So it's befitting, especially since the original Xbox is over 25 years old at this point and definitely considered retro, that Hyperkin would make something like this. And they did a really good job. There's only a couple real complaints that I have about the controller, and they're fairly minor, and they don't really affect how the controller feels or works necessarily. So some of the changes that they made, I wish I had an original controller S here to show you guys next to this, but I actually don't own an original Xbox at the moment. The last one I had I got rid of a while ago. Definitely something that might change in the future, I don't know. But as of now, I don't have one, so I don't have an original controller S to compare this to. But I don't necessarily need that because for the most part, they're identical. One thing you will notice is this is a bit lighter. The plastic does feel just a bit more hollow. It doesn't feel like you could beat someone to death with it like the original, but you know, they got as close as they possibly could with the, you know, materials and technology that we have now to make this kind of thing. So everything's pretty faithfully recreated. It's just been replicated in Xbox One fashion. So instead of back and start, it's the Xbox proprietary buttons. You have the share button here, which is obviously not on the original either. And the original Xbox logo acts as the Xbox menu button. So this is also a button, and it acts as the Xbox button. So this is another physical button. So there's two buttons here that weren't on the original, at least on the front. We'll talk about the rest later. So you have your face buttons here, A, B, X, and Y. The membranes are nice quality. They have a nice click to them. They feel almost identical to the original as far as how they press. Now, how they look, the actual letters on the buttons are a little more shallow than they were on the original controller. So it does make the face buttons just look a little bit more cheap, but it's one of those things you really have to squint and look closely to even notice that it's there. You also have an indicator light up here that it indicates the controller is connected when you plug it in. That's also not on the original. And a lot of people were not fans of the black and white button on the original Xbox controller, both on the Duke and on this one, which is why when Microsoft released the Xbox 360, they got rid of these and put bumpers on the top of the Xbox 360 controller. Well, in this case, Hyperkin has also done that with this controller. You can see their logo right here, Hyperkin. That's another giveaway. On the original, there'd be two big memory card slots here. There is not. And you also have bumpers. Now, these bumpers don't do anything on their own. They actually replicate the functions of the black and white buttons. So the black and white buttons and the bumpers both do the same thing. It's just a matter of preference. If you grew up with this controller, you might prefer using these. If you're a more modern type player like most people nowadays, you would use the bumpers up here. And the bumpers are actually really nice. They have a nice, satisfying click to them, and they're nice and big and easy to hit. And they're very light. You don't have to hit them very hard. So makes throwing grenades and stuff pretty easy. And you have your, analog triggers down here, just like the original. They feel, very similar to the original. Maybe the springs are a little less stiff, but that's honestly kind of a good thing because your fingers won't get as tired. So you have your label on the bottom here, DutchesS wired controller by Hyperkin. You also do have a headphone jack on the bottom, which is also not standard. Really cool to have that as well. The controller also has rumble function. It's a USB-C compatible, so any of your USB-C cables will work with it. It's got Hall effect joysticks, which are really nice and smooth and easy to actuate. They feel really nice. The click is nice and solid with them as well. So really no complaints. And the thumbsticks have very good accuracy when you're playing. I don't notice any difference in accuracy between these and the original. And you also have your D-pad down here, a little bit more mushy than the original, but very, very similar. And there's nothing else included in the package besides the controller and a 10-foot braided Hyperkin branded double-ended USB cable. USB-A on one side, USB-C on the other. But I'm sure C2C, certain C2C cables and other things will work with this because it's, USB-C compatible. And it basically is is recognized as an X input device, the same as an Xbox One controller. So you can play your modern games with this. You can play Call of Duty with this. You can play, Doom the Dark Ages, and it will recognize this as an original Xbox controller. Unfortunately, because of, the prices of things nowadays and import fees and inflation and everything, when I bought this controller, I paid about $30 for it. It was a really good controller for that price. But unfortunately, the price has gone up now to like $50, $55. And I'm sorry, but I cannot recommend it at that price. So if you're shopping, for this controller, make sure you get it on sale or something. Do not pay $55 for this. It's a third-party wired controller that's not even made by Microsoft. So in my opinion, and the quality of it doesn't justify a $55 price tag. But if you can get it for less than that, it's a great controller and it works really well. And it replicates the original Xbox Controller S extremely well, which is what it was intentionally designed to do. So it does that very well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video from the Airsoft Man 819 channel, and stay tuned for more. See you later.